Throughout history, pipelines have been. I'm David Shoemaker, by the way, in case you didn't know. They have been used to transport resources such as fuels between locations to facilitate transportation. Yeah. These pipelines, however, come with advantages and disadvantages, mind you, with respect to the environment and the economy. The two problems we will look at today are the offshore and onshore South Stream pipelines, which run 900 kilometers under the Black Sea and the Balkans, respectively, and the Keystone pipeline that runs through several states in the Midwestern U.S. Some of the environmental implications of the South Stream, for example, include the fact that the use of this pipeline is less costly and dangerous than using coal fuel or nuclear power. The South Stream, for example, will also enable Europe to significantly reduce CO2 emissions. However, it travels under the Black Sea, which accounts for serious potential environmental hazards should the pipeline rupture, which would cause irremovable pollution. There are doubts about the feasibility of the South Stream project, which costs about about twice as much as the Nabucco, which passes through from Turkey to Austria. However, some experts believe that the pipeline is a political project to expand Russian influence. On March 10, 2010, there was a proposal to merge the Nabucco and the South Stream pipelines to reduce costs and increase overall return, actually. There has been also conflict in Ukraine because of the environmental concern. I'm David Shoemaker, and right here is Richard Gill.
I'm Richard Gill, America's leading economic analyst, and I'm here to analyze the cost and benefits of implementing the South Stream line in Europe, southeastern Europe to be more specific. If the South Stream line were to be implemented, there would be advantages and disadvantages for doing so. Some of the advantages would be economic and environmental. For instance, with the implementation of the South Stream line, oil in Europe would be much more competitive and also cheaper because they wouldn't be importing from OPEC, they would be importing from Siberia. However, it would also meet Europe's demand for additional natural gas. It would also supply more secure fossil fuels, which would be environmentally safe. Okay? The demand in 2020 for Europe for natural gas may reach 80 billion square meters of oil, and the demand in 2030 for oil may reach 140 billion square meters. The supply of abundant oil, this wouldn't be a problem in Europe. Politically, with the South Stream line, Europe is setting itself for disaster. Russia would like most of Europe to be dependent on itself for oil, and in this way, Russia is gaining more control over the oil and gas markets of Europe. Jobs will be created to reduce manufacturing and engineering solutions to refine the oil. And in this way, the economy will boom. All in all, the South Stream will stimulate the economy of Europe and form, ideally, a strong partnership between Russia and Western and the rest of Eastern Europe, and the market for oil and gas. This has been Richard Gill speaking to you, and next we will analyze the positive benefits of the South Stream line on a graph. This is a negative externality graph depicting the negative externalities building something such as the Keystone Pipeline or South Stream could have on the environment and economy, where the marginal private cost equals the marginal private benefit of consumers, is where the firm will produce and sell their products such as oil. Because the marginal private benefit shifts leftward due to air and water pollution, the quantity of oil produced decreases as well as the price that is demanded of oil.
Unlike the South Stream pipeline in Eastern Europe, The Keystone XL pipeline in the United States is very different. Since 2008, TransCanada, the company behind the Keystone pipeline, has been arguing for the construction of this new pipeline, but unfortunately for them, it still hasn't been approved by the U.S. government. Whereas the South Stream pipeline in Eastern Europe has lots of positive economic and environmental impacts, the Keystone pipeline does not. Economically, tar sands fuel that is pumped from Canada to Texas will only be exported to foreign nations. Unfortunately for the people of the United States, this dirty oil will not affect gas prices in the United States and will only help increase revenues of big oil companies. Although the Keystone XL pipeline will probably make the U.S. more competitive in the foreign oil market by making it a member of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC. The tar sands oil, which will be filled in the pipeline, is one of the worst and most dirty types of oil in the world. Since the U.S. the reserves is out of conventional oil, they've been forced to turn to tar sands. Tar sands is not refined oil. It has to be, the oil has to be taken out of the tar sands first, and as a result, it's very, very dangerous to transport. Although the TransCanada company, the company behind the pipeline, claims that the construction of the pipeline will create 20,000 jobs, the U.S. State Department has done research that shows only about 5,000 to 6,000 temporary construction jobs will be created. The Keystone Pipeline only has a potential to decrease the U.S. unemployment rate by about 387,000,000%, which proves that it would almost have no positive impact at all in the United States. The pipeline, if built, would travel over 9 states in the United States and 2 Canadian provinces. The problem with this is that over 4 to 5 of those states, there is the largest freshwater aquifer in the United States called the Ogallala Aquifer. This aquifer supplies the United States, or is reserved for the United States in the event we run out of fresh water. Since transporting tar sands is very dangerous, and there have been problems with it breaking in the past and polluting, if this pipeline were to be built and there was a problem where it would break, the tar sands would release into the residential areas, lowering land value significantly. There have been problems with it breaking in the past and polluting. If this pipeline were to be built and there was a problem where it would break, the tar sands would release into the residential areas, lowering land value significantly, screwing up the housing market, and polluting this aquifer, which would cause an irreversible effect. This could have several future repercussions on the price of fresh water in the United States. Seen with the low economic, positive economic impact it's going to have on the U.S. job market and the high amount of negative externalities it will have, this pipeline is not worth the money and the time and the risk to build.
Go.
As you can see, both the South Stream and the Keystone pipelines present environmental and economic advantages and disadvantages that can alter the GDPs of the involved countries, the value of currency and exchange in foreign trade markets, and even the political influence of the countries over one another. I'm David Shoemaker, and this is Economics USA, and I hope you all have a very good day.